Vijayadashami wishes prayers to all. Let us chant Ano Bhadra Suktam because today is Vijayadashami. Ano Bhadraha means from all directions let only the noble auspicious things should come to us. Very small, very beautiful mantra. Just feel the joy of chanting it, listening to it. Om Atharugveda Samhita Prathama Mandala Prathama Ashtaka Ekonanavati Suktaha Ano Bhadraha Suktam Om Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwatodabdhaso Aparitasa Udbhidaha Devano Yathasa Damit Vrudhe Asannaprayuvo Rakshitaro Dive Dive Devanam Bhadrasumatirrujuyatam Devanam Ratiravino Nivartatam Devanam Sakyamupasedima Vayam Devana Ayo Pratirantu Jivase Tan Purvaya Nivida Humaye Vayam Bhagam Mitramaditim Dakshamasridham Aryamanam Varunam Somamashvina Saraswatina Subhagamayaskaratu Tanno Vato Mayo Bhuvatu Bheshajam Tanmata Prithvi Tatpita Dyoh Tadgravanah Somasuto Mayo Bhuvastadashvina Shrunutam Dhishnya Yuvam Tamishanam Jagatastastu Shaspatim धियं जिन्वमवसे होमये वयं पूषानो यथा वेद सामसद्वृधे रक्षिता पायुरदब्धस्वस्तये स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु पृषदश्वा मरुतः कृष्णिमातरः शुभं यावानो विदतेषु जग्मयः अग्निजिह्वा मनव सूरचक्षसो विश्वेनो देवा अवसागमन्निह भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिर्व्यसेम देवहितं यदायुः शतमिन्नु शरदो अन्तिदेवा यत्रा नश्चक्राजरसं तनूनां पुत्रासो यत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मध्यारीरिषतायुर्गन्तोः अदितिर्द्यौरदितिरन्तरिक्षमदितिर्माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा अदितिः पञ्चजना अदितिर्जातमदितिर्जनित्वम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, in this way, all the time ourselves engaging in divine spiritual activities outside in the form of physical actions of Guru Sevas, Upasanas, vocally always in the Ucharana of the divine mantras, preferably Vedanta Upanishad mantras, in the mind always the Sankalpa, Bhavana, Ichha intensified day by day for the spiritual sadhana and siddhi. More important than all these is the removal of intellectual lethargy, and that intellect is always in the search, in the inquiry about the self truth only through the continuous contemplation on the meaning of the Upanishadic mantras. These are the ones, the one who fully engages always in and doesn't allow himself to involve in anything else and doesn't allow anything else to enter him. He alone can go through the Navaratri of the Adhyatmika Sadhana and reach to the Vijaya Dashami of the Parama Atma Anumoti. While doing all that, though it appears to be selfish, but in spirituality, we have to be selfish only here. In that selfish, the S is capital. Meaning is what? Always being introverted, always internalizing whatever we are studying in the Shastras. Means seeing to it or ensuring that these Adhyatmika Jnana Vishayas, Sadhana Vishayas, whatever we are listening, whatever we are understanding, they should happen in me, they should happen to me. This Ichha, but Ichha is not sufficient. Our own prayatna, though it is by Bhagavat Krupa the Anubhava happens, but Bhagavat Krupa comes only to those who are duly doing their own Swa Prayatna. So, strong desire for internalizing, actualizing, and accordingly with full commitment planning, doing what due sadhana we have to do. When we go on doing it, then that Vijaya Dashami happens in our life where Rama victorious over Ravana or Goddess Mother Adi Parashakti victorious over the Shumbha Nishumbhasura, or beginning a victory like that of Pandavas after those 13 years of Aranya and Ajnatavasa happens in us also. So when this happens, that real celebration of Dasara. For this to happen, whatever due we have to do, doing all of that is preparing ourselves for Dashahara. So may we all celebrate Dashahara, Deepavali every day by heading towards the self, towards the truth, towards the truth alone. May we pray to the Mother, to all Devatas. Only one Sankalpa, that may we realize the self in this very life. Let every obstacle be removed, every knowledge be gained, every empowerment is done, every sadhana required is done through us, by us, and without any distraction, delay. May we seriously, sincerely, consciously, effortfully walking in this Adhyatmika Marga internal, recognize that our own real, inner, deeper, subtler, essential self, beyond all dehas, koshas, avasthas, as we are seeing in our Adhyatma Ramayana. So, let us continue our study of Aitareya, Yoga Darshana, Mundaka, Gita, Bhagavatam, Adhyatma Ramayanam. Even today, even though it's a day of festival, these are all real festival celebrations. In fact, really, in this way, by being regular to the Shravana, Manana, Adhyayana, Nididhyasana, when we are really getting that subtle glimpses of experience, in such way, all festivals are happening. All upasanas celebrations are fulfilled. All results of tirthayatras are achieved. All purposes of Guru, Devata, Prarthana, Sharanagati, every one of them find their fulfillment only in rising above the ignorance created samsara and enter into the realm of jnana anubhuti. So, my prayers to me, mainly to the Lord to bless me, is let no moment, no day be away from the truth or the reality for whatever the reason. This is minimum necessary effort that every moment we are only remembering the goal, we are knowing the path, we are doing that sadhana to walk on that path. And so much our love for this spiritual goal should be there that it should discard all other our loves and attachments for everything and being in the world. And this love for the spiritual goal must give us such an amount of inspiration that every sacrifice required, every sadhana to be done to realize the self, we are able to do fully, joyfully, not having even a slightest of any sort of excuses, any sort of weaknesses, any sort of distractions. Wherever we have love, there we are inspired. And wherever we are inspired towards that lovable, loving, beloved thing, we are ready to do everything. The more intense is the love, the more intense is the inspiration, the more greater are the efforts. From this standpoint, for all our weaknesses, insincerities, struggles in our sadhana, too many of efforts are in our sadhana. The reason is our love affinity for our spiritual goal has not sufficiently grown or developed. That shows that Shastra Shravanam Adhyanam has not gone deep into us to make us understand that not only the truth or the self alone is reality, but in that alone, but also in that alone, there is moksha, in that alone, there is Nitya Shashvata Ananta Ananda Anubhava. Of these things, when there is no clarity, then the love for this goal will not be so great or stronger. It will be very, very mediocre. Wherever our liking and love is not sufficient, less, there, anything to do at that altar, smaller or bigger one, is full of efforts, full of pain, full of struggles only. On the other hand, wherever there is love, efforts are effortless, efforts are joyful, efforts are full of inspiration. So may on this Dasahara Vijayadashami day, pray to the God, to Gurus, to Shruti Mata, to give us the full understanding of the truth, full maximum 100% love only for the truth, so that we are so much inspired to spend our full time, energy only in doing the due sadhanas to reach to that most beloved, loving goal called as Atmanubhuti. May these things become clearer and clear. May our Vijaya Dashami be invoked, invited, celebrated by us this way. Let us start. Om, Om, Om. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ करुणावरुणालय पालय मां भवसागरदुःखविदूनहृदं रचयाखिलदर्शनतत्त्वविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ओं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः साधनानां योगानां साम्प्रदायानां प्रक्रियाणां पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा समस्त विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति द्वारा विश्वशांति विश्वकल्याण विश्व एकता विश्व सामरस्य विश्व पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निष्ठित अस्माकं सह समस्त भक्त साधक सेवकानां पूर्णायुरारोग्यैश्वर्यादि सत् संपदा साधना सानुकूल्यता शक्तीनां प्राप्ति बाह्य अभ्यंतर समस्त शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणम्। ॐ मनस्तापतमः शान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुरिवा भाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ॐ अथ ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेयारण्यकान्तर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषद प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य म आणेस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ तृतीयः खण्डः। स ईक्षते मेनुलोकाश्च लोकपालाश्चान्नमेभ्यः सृजायिते सोपोभ्यः तपत्ताभ्यो वितप्ताभ्यो मूर्तिरजायत या वै सा मूर्तिरजायतान्नं वै ततो तदेनत्सृष्टं पराङ्क्तिजिगांसत तद्वाचा जिगृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोद्वाचा गृहीतुं स यद् एनद्वाचा अग्रहयिष्यत् अभिव्याहृत्य एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यतो तत्प्राणेनाजिघृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोत् प्राणेन ग्रहीतुं स यद्हैनत् प्राणेनाग्रहयिष्यत् अभिप्राण्य हैवान्नमत्रप्स्यतो तच्चक्षुषा जिगृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोत् चक्षुषा ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनत् चक्षुषा ग्रहयिष्यत् दृष्ट्वा एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यतो तत् श्रोत्रेणाजिगृक्षत तन्नाशक्नोत् श्रोत्रेण ग्रहीतुं स यदः येन तु श्रोत्रेण अग्रहयिष्यत श्रुत्वा एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यत तदुत्वचा अजिगृक्षत् तन्नाशक्नोत् त्वचा ग्रहीतुं स यदः येन त्वचा अग्रहयिष्यत स्पृष्ट्वा एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यत तन्मनसा जिगृक्षत तन्न शक्नोत् मनसा ग्रहीतुं स यदः एनत् मनसा अग्रहयिष्यत ध्यात्वा हैवान्नमत्रप्स्यत तच्छिष्णेनाजिगृक्षत् तन्ना शक्नोत् शिष्णेन ग्रहीतुं स यदः एनत् शिष्णेनाग्रहयिष्यत विसृज्य एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यत तदपानेनाजिगृक्षत् तदा वयत्सैषोष्णस्य ग्रहः यद्वायुरन्नायुर्वा एष यद्वायुः तदपानेनाजिघ्रोक्षत तदावयत् सा एषः अन्नस्य ग्रहः यत् वायुः अन्नायुः वा एषः यद्वायुः स ईक्षत कथं नु इदमवधुरुते स्यादिति सः ईक्षत कतरेण प्रपद्या इति सः ईक्षत यदि वाचाभिव्याहृतं यदि प्राणेनाभिप्राणितं यदि चक्षुषा दृष्टं यदि श्रोत्रेण श्रुतं यदि त्वचा स्पृष्टं यदि मनसा ध्यातं यदि अपानेनाभ्यपानितं यदि शिष्णेन विसृष्टम् अथ कोऽहमिति स एतमेव सेमानं विधार्य एतया द्वारा प्रापद्यत सा एषा विद्रुतिर्नाम द्वाः तदेतत् नान्दनन्तस्य त्रय आवसथाः त्रयः स्वप्नाः अयमावसतोऽयमावसतोऽयमावसथ इति स जातः भूतानि अभिव्यैख्यतो किमिह अन्यं वावदिशदिति स एतमेव पुरुषं ब्रह्म ततमम् अपश्यत् इदम् अदर्शमिति तस्मादिदन्द्रो नाम इदन्द्रो ह वै नाम तमिदन्द्रं सन्तम् इन्द्र इति आचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रियाः इव हि देवाः परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः ॐ शान्तिः 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 फ्रेंड्स so annam is created, then that annam, like the rat runs away from the cat for its own sustenance, in that way the created annam appear to run away. The meaning of this sentence we told that the annam created should be consumed at a right time, or whenever the annam has to be consumed for the quenching of thirst, hunger, etc. At that time only the annam should be attended to, procured, prepared, like the sadhu sannyasi. When they are hungry, at that time they go to Bhiksha for that half an hour, collecting the Bhiksha, eating, finish. Again till the next day, the thought of bhojana never comes to them. And when the need of bhojana is there, that half hour, thanking the God, thanking those who are giving bhiksha, they consume the food for the sustenance of the body. Other than that, anna as a bhoga vastu and anna as a chance or choice for variety, all these thoughts never come to them. So neither they are doing annam nindyat, ninda nahi kar rahe anna ka, nor they are doing humiliation of the anna by calling it as the bhoga vastu. In the same way, through this anecdote or saying, Anna wanted to run away is Anna or any opportunities in his life, they come only to run away or go. Before they go away or run away, we have to encash them. We have to make use of them at right time. That alertness, that maturity is Adhyatmika Pragati Sadhana. That is indicated here, we can say. Okay. Iti matva. See, tadednat, I am chanting the third mantra's bhashyam. Tadenat annam lokapalanam arthe abhimuke srushtam. That food which is for loka and lokapalakas, created and kept in front of tad yatha मूषकादिः मार्जारादि गोचरे सन् mama mrityu annadaha iti matva. Looking at the cats, etc., the rats, as they think that they are the eaters of me, thus they are my mrityu, parang parag anchatiti, parag sat atrun atitya ati atitya ajigamsad atigattum aichaditi palaitum prarabham प्रारवता इति अर्थः. सो द कंज्यूमर से भागने का जैसे वो चूहा कोशिश करता है फ्रॉम द कैट, इन दैट वे द फूड was feeling that it will be killed by, consumed by those devatas or indriyas. He just felt like going away from them. So the subtle indication is there what ki everything has its satta and everything doesn't want to lose its satta. So respect, revere that. So court that annam. For me, O Anna Devata, though I am consuming, two things I do. One, I consider you as Brahman, and by consuming you, I will only pursue the Brahma Tattva. In this way, O Anna Devata, there will be fulfillment for you because you are used for the better purpose, like a human life. When it is used for protecting the country in an army, used for serving the nation through politics or any professions. No, though that life is sacrificed, but don't we praise, don't we recognize, remember, don't we undoubtedly say the life of that person is fulfilled? Obviously, no? In the same way, hey Anna Devata, your consumption be fulfilled only. I know it's a fulfillment to you. So, in that way, in general, in our life, for our sustenance, whatever we consume, in that consumption, we are destroying them only. But when that consumption is for the higher and greater, nobler goal, then that destruction is meaningful. Like we destroy the mountains and all, make our houses, we destroy the trees, etc., make our doors and windows, we plow or dig the earth and take out all minerals and waters or these variety of the things. अब क्या क्या हमारे सर्वाइव के लिए हम कर रहे हैं, all of that is doing the nashta to them, but it is unavoidable because that is the creation, that is how the world runs. But then those consumed things, when having consumed that individual, when he lives life for his own spiritual identity as goal and also for the service of totality, that person's that consumption is not wasted. Okay, so like when I go to a plant to pluck a vegetable, that plant and vegetable both of them are afraid, अरे यार ये हमको खा रहे हैं, खाने के लिए तोड़ रहे हैं. When I pluck a flower, a fruit, that also, when I cut any of the grains of crops, इन सबको जैसे यहाँ अन्न को डर लग के भाग रहा था, सबको होता है. Like anybody comes to our vicinity, first thing is we feel insecure. Then if that person by his gestures, etc., proves to be harmless, then we feel secure. And our own friends, relatives, it is decided that they are harmless, therefore, in their arrival or our going to them or in their company, we are secured. No problem for our astitva. In the same way, whatever we consume, वैसे चप्पल भी पहनते हैं, चप्पल को भी डर लगता है कि यार ये हमको कैसे दिन भर कुंदलता ही जाएगा अपना पाँव लगा के. Then you have to tell to the chappal, yes, I have no way, I have to do this, but my movement in the world are only for the truth, only for the service. In that way, in my endeavor of this, because you helped me, you also become the shareholder for that punya or achievement. These are very sublime thoughts, cannot be caught by a gross material matter oriented insensitive intellects. When we wear the clothes, when we drive the vehicles, everywhere that satta is there. That satta is disturbed by our consumption of all. But when that consumption or utilization of all are for the spiritual goal, for the service of the world, they are all allowed. So that very intricate, very subtle thought we have to catch from this tentative episode or thought that परांग जिघांसतु, हमारा जिघांसा करेगा करके ये भोजन जो है भागना चाहा. That is the meaning. So parang sat atrun atitya ajigam sat atigantu maichat palayutam prarabhata ityartha. Another word we used was कि these are the opportunities, food or anything. They just come in time, na? And time is such a thing like any darshana in any of the big temples, huge line होता है. तो वहाँ धक्का देकर भगाते रहते हैं. सो टू द टाइम इज सच ए थिंग. धक्का देकर वो हमारे पास अपॉर्चुनिटी को लाता है, तो सेम वे धक्का देकर उस अपॉर्चुनिटी को लेकर भी जाता है. At the time of that opportunity, we have to recognize and seize it and use for our sadhana. Otherwise, the food chala ja raha hai. In the same way, all that required for our sadhana, like human life, every moment, is it not going away? Every moment. 10 मिनट चाय कॉफी पिया तो जिंदगी का 10 मिनट चला गया. है ना. छोटे छोटे काम के लिए एक एक सेकंड, दो दो सेकंड, तीन तीन सेकंड, 5 सेकंड, घंटा घंटा, डे बाय डे. ऑलरेडी अक्टूबर 24 टुडे ऑफ 2023. जस्ट लाइक केम 2023 हो गया. That was an opportunity. How much sensitive were to use this opportunity of every moment. And in that every moment, the opportunity for evolution. And in that opportunity evolution, every of the occasion of chance to study Shastra, contemplate, do the dhyanam, how much we have done. That is what is accounted. That's why the highest level of intellectual maturity that individual or jiva is oblivion of the desha kala vastu vyakti into his own deep search of the truth or reality. ना उनको अपना खुद का भान है, ना कोई दुनिया का. He is using that opportunity of human life in discovering his self. But you and I don't have that much of either understanding or maturity or that type of what do you say, the commitments in us. Therefore, for us, spirituality is so lighter and casual. All other things are so important. Each of them are nothing but misusing the opportunities. Only whatever you say. Like that, every moment, as said in Katha Upanishad, the Shreya opportunity in front of is there, Preya opportunities in front of is there. Every moment is every moment. Many a times the Shreyas we choose very less during a day, 24 hours may, like coming to class or maybe little upasana puja. The remaining whole time we are choosing the prayers over Shreyas only. That is the meaning of Manda Buddhi as per Kathopanishad. Preyo Mando Yoga Kshemat Vrunite. Shreyaha Dhiraha Avipreyasah Vrunite. If somebody a Dhira Purusha matured, he will choose the Shreya every moment. Manda Buddhi chooses the Preya. The height of the Dhira Purusha, where he chooses Shreyas, is he even sacrifices his Nidra. He even sacrifices every of Dharma also. अब धर्म को निद्रा को छोड़ दिया तो what other भोग आदि आसक्ति he will involve in? He will not involve. He is a dhira purusha. Every moment what he is doing is the sadhana for the shreyo marga and shreyo lakshya. So we have to reach to that level. Now we are under compulsion, our pain, our so much of heavy load. We struggle to put ourselves on the spiritual path. That much adhira we are. So we have to slowly through study of Shastra, analyzing this way, understanding, become dhira day by day, not manda. So help of Kathopanishad we are taking to prove this point that this example of Anna wanting to run away is like the opportunities going away. As a dhira Purusha, use the opportunity every moment only for Shreyas. The more we are able to accomplish in a day's time, in one day as a unit, the more we have done sadhana better manner. देखो हर दिन वही करना होता है लेकिन हर दिन में फर्क इसमें होता है कि द सेम थिंग वी आर डूइंग बट हाउ डीपली हाउ इंटेंसली हाउ मच by involving in it engrossed in it these are the things have to be improved day by day डेली क्लास ही सुनेंगे क्लास ही बोलेंगे उपनिषद ही but improvement between yesterday and today. So to all other sadhana, same japa we do every day. But what's the difference in today's japa? Is it not? In that way हमको करने के ढंग में डेप्थ में इन्वॉल्वमेंट में बढ़ोतरी होनी चाहिए. That's called sadhana. Otherwise, same Upanishad we study, same dhyana we do, but the activity is same, but the way of doing it is deeper, intense. Then what happened when the food wanted to run away? Tat anna abhiprayam matva. उस अन्न का अभिप्राय को समझकर यार ये भाग रहा है, भागना चाह रहा है, स लोक लोकपाल संघात है ना. That loka lokapala sanghata. The loka is the human body. The lokapalas are all the devatas who have entered. The assembly of both of them. Here it is technically called as Karya Karana Lakshanaha. Karya is the Stula Sharira. Karana are all Indriyas. In total, all of them is called as Pratpindaha. It is called whole Pinda, that individuality with the Deha as well as all faculties inside. Prathama Jatvat. Hmm, hmm, hmm. प्रथमजत्वात् अन्यांश्च अन्न आदान अपश्यन् तद अन्नम. Okay, that individual pratamajatvat, not caring or seeing other consumers of the food, he himself wanted to consume the food. That individual pinda now, in whom the deha is there and the adhisthana devatas indriyas are there. How he wanted to consume the food. So, food is in front. Parabrahma is there. Ishvara Paramatma is there. Virat Purusha is there. That individual human Sharira or being is there. Now we are talking about the human individual. Okay, in whom the Sharira is there as well as the Indriyadhishtanas are there, Devadas. O Pindane wanted to, as the whole Sanghata, consume the food. How he wanted to consume first? Vacha, Ajigrukshat. Through the speaking ability, he wanted to consume the food. Try to picturize it. That's why I said the Parabrahma, the Virat Purusha, the Anna in front, then the Manushya, who is the Sanghata now of the Karya, the Deha, Karana, all Indriyas, Indriyadhisthana Devatas. That is called as a Pinda now. Now he wanted to consume the food. With Vani, Vacha. So Tad Vacha Ajigrukshat. With the Vani he wanted to consume the food. Now one sentence I will explain by dividing the words. All other are like that only. One can do the Sandhi Vicheda and understand. So what it is? Tatu. Okay. Then Vacha. The second word. So tat, you see the third mantra. Tadu enat srishtam. That food which is created. Parangtya jighamsatu. Parag atya jighamsat means खाने वाले जो भी वहाँ हैं उनसे पराक दूर भागने के कोशिश में था. Out of the fear that they will eat me and it will be my mrityu. That is why the rat cat example is given. After that, tat vacha ajigrukshat. Tat means that pinda, the sanghata of the human sharira and the indriyas adhisthana devat. Tat उसने क्या किया? वाचा, with his speech. Ajigrukshat. Okay, tad vacha ajigrukshat. Second sentence is tat na shaknot vacha grahitum. Next, sa yat ha enat vacha agrahaishyat abhi vyahratya ha eva annam atrapsyatu. हिंदी में बताता हूँ कि उन्होंने वाणी से अन्न को ग्रहण करने का प्रयत्न किया. वो वाणी से अन्न को ग्रहण कर नहीं पाया. अगर वो वाणी से अन्न को ग्रहण कर पाता होता तो तब से अब तक अन्न का नाम वाणी से लेने मात्र से ही अन्न का ग्रहण करना, उसका फल स्वरूप तृप्ति होना चाहिए था. But this is not the case. So, Vacha Ajigurukshatu. With Vani, he wanted to eat that food. Tat na ashaknotu Vacha Grahitum. He was not capable of taking the food, receiving the food by the Vani. Vacha means the speaking ability here. The Vani Rupi Karmi Indriya. Now, here the point is Yadhi Enat. If at all this food by this पिंड वाचा, अगर वाणी से यदि एनद वाचा अग्रहिष्यत, if it has taken the food by the vani, by speaking out the food, then from then onwards till now, even we all, even in the future also, अभिव्याहृत्य एव. अभिव्याहरण मीन्स मुख से बोलने के मात्र से. अभिव्याहृत्र एव अन्नम अत्रप्स्यत. अन्नम का तृप्ति से खाने का हो जाना चाहिए था. That's what we were saying yesterday. Like any food you want to eat, you just uttered the name of that, then the food happens to have been consumed. But you don't see like that. And you say mango, but you don't have the eating and trupti of eating mango by uttering with the word. And any of the bhojana you see, मुख से कहने के मात्र से उसका कंजम्पशन भावना नहीं होता हमको. तृप्ति नहीं होती है कि नहीं. बट द वाणी हैज इट्स ओन वर्क देयर. इट कैन आस्क फॉर द मैंगो और द एप्पल, उतना वो कह सकता है, बट कंजम्पशन उस वाणी के मात्र से नहीं होता. Okay, so as we said yesterday, it means what? Through the indriyas, jnanendriyas, you imagine about the food, but by that imagination, the food will not come. Then to earn the food, we have to put our karmendriyas in the action. And when the food comes, without disregarding, disrespecting that food, properly, duly, that food has to be consumed at right time. That's the meaning. More important than that is that food will be fulfilled after consumption when the life and energy which we get from that food we utilize for knowing the truth, serving the world. This is how our mind's attitude when it is there. We have the right to live in this world and we are executing our duties of living the life for knowing the truth. Very beautiful, very subtle way of conveying this mantra. Through this mantra, this aspect. So we have seen the mantra. उसी को हम भाष्य में पढ़ रहे हैं. तत् अन्न अभिप्राय मत्वा स लोक लोकपाल संघातः means कार्यकरण लक्षणः पिंडः प्रथमजत्वात्, because this is the one into whom all devatas entered first. Anyansha anna adan apashyan, not looking at or carrying the other consumers of the food like the cows and horses, etc. That food he wanted to consume, but he tried to consume it through the vani. So vacha vadana vyaparena, by the vyapara of the vani of speech, abhi ajigrukshatu. Ajigrukshatu means grahitum ichchatu. He was desirous of consuming the food with the speech of the mouth. In fact, he has tried also. Then tat annam na ashaknotu, na samartah abhavatu. He was not capable. For what? Vacha vadana kriyaya grahitum upadatum. By the vani whose kriya is of speech, with that consumption of the food, in that he was failure. He was not successful. Okay. Now, saha prathamajaha shariri, that first born, that human bodied whole equipment, pinda, yadi, yat, yat means yadi, if at all, ha enat, this food, vacha grahishyat, if he had consumed in the very first instance the food by just uttering its name, then agrahishyat means gurhitavan syat, agar अन्न को कंज्यूम किया होता, then be attentive. Sarvaha api lokaha, all other beings subsequently, that karya bhutatvat, have come from that the Prathamaja Virat Purusha only. They all also should have got that facility of what? Abhivyahrutyah eva. Only by doing the abhivyaharanam, utterance of the name of the food, annamatrapsyat truptaha abhavishyat. He should have been the consumer of the food along with the contentment of consuming the food. ऐसा होना चाहिए था. So here what pictorially we see is that Virat Purusha only from that for the sake of that Pinda wanted to consume food but used the equipment of speech by speaking about. He could not consume. So if the Prathamaja Virat Purusha could not consume the food by uttering it with the mouth, how can anybody who are his own effects later on, he is the Karana, we are all his Karya. How can we can consume? No. Therefore, he could not consume food by uttering it by mouth name. All of us also like that. That is why it is said, ki, nacha etadasti. We never see that by uttering the name of the food, anybody's hunger is removed, anybody's the contentment of consuming the food has come to that bandha. अदरवाइज ऑनलाइन में मेनू कार्ड में या कागज पे लिख कर चिपका कर बस उसका नाम ले लो. ऑल द फूड ऑफ द एंटायर वर्ल्ड, देर आर मिलियंस ऑफ वेराइटीज ऑफ फूड्स आर देर in all the 800 million people of the world. So we would have been having the trupti of that by taking the name. But nachayetadasti. Therefore, ataha na shaknot vacha grahitum. Iti avagachamaha. Purvajaha api. Here, Purvajaha means all the effort to consume the food through the Vani was done by the Purvajaha, Virat Purushaha. Let us understand it that way. So, if he himself could not receive food by uttering its name, how we can do? Then the same Virat Purusha of that Pindanda, the other Indriyas also, he tried to use to consume the food with that particular Indriya's ability or workability or व्यापार. सो वाणी का था बोलना, तो बोलकर फूड को कंज्यूम करना चाहा पर उससे नहीं हो पाया. In the same way, the other indriyas are told in the next 5 mantras. The mantra remains exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the fourth mantra, prana means grana, means by inhaling. He wanted to consume the food which is very much in front. But that grana kriya or granendriya kriya of smelling could not give him the experience of consumption of the food as well as the contentment thereafter. है ना, जिघ्रुक्षा भी पूर्ति नहीं हुई, तृप्ति भी नहीं हुआ. That is what is said in the whole mantra. And in every mantra, same thing. If for the Pratamaja, Virat Purusha, consumption of the food with the Nishvasa or Uchvasa, by doing the inhaling, if his food consumption has accomplished, then because we are all his effects, all of us also would have enjoyed the food only by smelling it through the nostrils. But this is what we don't see. ना ऐसे एतदस्ति, एग्जैक्टली जो भाष्य में लिखा है पहले मंत्र में, उसी को हर जगह लगाते जाना. न च एतदस्ति. This is not seen that any human being by smelling the food he gets the trupti of eating the food. Rather, the hunger grows only when you smell a good food. Is it not? So, atah na asaknotu pranena grahitum. In that way, you have to add everywhere. So the sandhi kaisa hai? Tat. Tat means that Virat Purushaha pranena. In the human being, that grana shakti is there of prana here means grana. You have to make it as the nostrils inhaling. So pranena ajigrukshatu. With that prana shakti whose work is inhaling, through that process he wanted to eat that food which is in front only. But tat na ashaknotu pranena grahitum. So he was not capable of able to receive that food by prana and grana. Sayatha enat pranena agrahishyatu. If at all he was succeeding in his first effort of doing the consumption of food by prana or grana, avipranya eva annamatrapsat. Then every of the jivas who are his karya later on, only by inhaling their consumption of the food should have happened. Rather, the more inhale exhale we do, hunger grows only. It doesn't go away. So prana का इस तरह से हो गया. In the same way, in the fifth mantra is tat chakshusha. What is the work of the chakshurindriya? Looking at, seeing it. So this Virat Purusha, through that pinda in which he has allowed the chakshu indriya to enter, through that chakshu, that murti rupa, ghana rupa, food which is there in front, he wanted to consume by looking at it only. But by looking at it, neither he could feel the consumption of the food happening naturally, nor the contentment of having the food. Same thing. If he was successful in consuming the food only by looking at it through his Jnanendriya eye, all the jivas, all of us who are his karya effects, is the karana. If he had achieved, we also would have felt trupti by looking at the food with our own eyes. कंटेंटमेंट भी कंजम्पशन भी आंखों से देख कर ही होना चाहिए. सो यू गो टू द होटल और एनी ईटेबल शॉप, बस लुक एट ऑल ऑफ देम, हो गया भोजन. और ऐसी बात है तो वो होटल वाला भी देखने के लिए भी बिल लगाए आगे लगाएगा देखने का बिल. सो ही कुड नॉट डू therefore in our life also we see कि nobody is getting experience of consumption of the food as well as trupti just by looking at the food. सो वाणी हो गया, प्राण हो गया, देन थर्ड वन क्या हो गया, चक्षु हो गया. ओके, सेम वे इज फोर्थ वन. सो तत् चक्षुषा अजिगृक्षतु. आई एम जस्ट रीडिंग द संधि विच्छेद. तत् न अशक्नोतु चक्षुषा ग्रहीतुम. Then saha yad ha enat, that Virat Purusha, if at all, enat means is annukom, a chakshusha agrahishyat, if he was successful in consuming, drushtvaha eva annamatram sat. By looking at only, he would have been consumer of the food as well as the contender also, contentment also. Should have been there, but you don't see it in everywhere. मतलब क्या है, इवन विराट पुरुष से भी जो काम नहीं हो सकता, हमें उसका गुस्ताखी नहीं करना. मीन्स rules are rules for the samashti also. When the rules are rules for samashti, how can you and I, the vyashti, can break the rule? यहाँ क्या कहने का, every indriya, whatever the job is given, it can do only that job, not any other job. Stick to that. You may try, but you will never succeed on. है ना, एवरी इंद्रिय. तो सुनने का काम कान का ही है, देखने का नहीं है. इसलिए डोंट पुट सेल फोन एंड वीडियो इन द ईयर एंड वांट टू सी इट इन दैट वे. सो वाचा प्राणेन चक्षुषा हो गया. नाउ द फोर्थ वन इज इन द सिक्स्थ मंत्र, सेम. तत् मीन्स परमात्मा, श्रोत्रेण विद द इयर्स, अजिगृक्षतु wanted to consume the food, tat na ashaknotu, he was not capable of shrotrena with the ears grahitum to consume. Saha, that Paramatma Hiranyagarbha or Virat Purusha, who is now there in that Pindanda as the Chakshuhu, Shrotraha, sorry. Saha yatha enat, this food ko, O Virat Purusha, Shrotrena ajigrukshata, if he was capable of consuming the food with the ears, Shrutvaha eva annamatrapsat. So the anna consumption and trupti should have happened to all the subsequent generations who are his own effects. He is the cause. By listening to the name of the food, he should have contented himself. सो टेप रिकॉर्ड लगा ली, सारे अन्न पदार्थों का नाम सुनाई दे रहा है, आप सुन ही जा रहे हो और पेट भर रहा है और तृप्ति आ रहा है. ऑन द अदर हैंड, द मोर यू लिसन द नेम्स ऑफ द फूड, हंगर ग्रोस ओनली इनसाइड. उसको खाने का मन. सो वाचा प्राणेन चक्षुषा श्रोत्रेण, you the Virat Purusha himself could not consume food, so how can we? चार हो गए. नाउ द फिफ्थ वन, अम्मा नारायण नारायण. नेक्स्ट, तत् त्वचा अजिगृक्षतु, with tvacha he wanted to consume the food. What is the work of the tvacha? Sparsha. Okay, tat na shaknot tvacha grahitum, he was not capable of taking that solid food with the charma or the skin. So sayadha enat tvacha grahishyat, अगर वो त्वचा से ग्रहण कर पाया होता तो स्पृष्टाः एव अन्नम अत्रप्स्यत. तो लोगों को by touching the food, the experience of the eating of the food and the trupti should have happened. है कि नहीं? सो सेफ लगाया गया वहाँ एप्पल. तो everybody at home just going and touching the apple and they are feeling the ईटिंग ऑफ द फुलफिलिंग एज वेल एज तृप्ति हो गया. हैव यू एवर एट द फूड बाय टचिंग द फूड? है ना, सारे 10 चीजें लगाए हैं शादी में और ये टच ही कर रहे हो. नो, when the food is touched and not consumed in the mouth, it is more pathetic and painful thing. जब तक खाना दूर होता है, हंगर होता है खाने की, भूख लालसा, but not that much. But after taking it in the house, in the hands, like a chocolate हो, आइसक्रीम हाथ में पकड़ के देखो, you cannot stay without eating it only. By just holding the food or touching the food with sparshendriya, we cannot have the consumption experience as well as trupti. So पांच हो गए. प्राणेन, sorry, yad vacha, then pranena, then chakshusha, then shrotrena, the last one is tvacha ajigrukshat. So all the jnanendriya, karmendriya ho gaye idhar. Now one example of antakarana given here. Tat manasa ajigrukshatu. With the mind he wanted to consume it. Tat na shaknot manasa grahitum. Na shaknot. With the mind also he could not consume that food. So yatha enat manasa agrahayishat. Na, yeah, if he had the experience of consumption of the food and something, by employing the instrument of the mind, all his effects, karyas, we all should also have the experience of eating the food and trupti. By what? Dhyatvaha eva annamatrapsat. Dhyatva means the thought of the food. मन का संकल्प करना होता है ना, संकल्प विकल्प वृत्ति के रूप में. अगर मन से खाना उनका सक्सेस हुआ होता, वी आर हिज सक्सेसर्स. ओनली बाय डूइंग द ध्यान ऑफ द भोजन we should have been fulfilled and contented. है ना, कंजम्पशन एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द फूड, कंटेनमेंट ऑफ ईटिंग फूड शुड हैव कम टू अस. पर नहीं, ये तो जितना ध्यान करते हो भोजन पे उतना भूख लगती है, वो जाती नहीं है वो. इज इट नॉट सो? मनसा जिगृक्षत तत् न अशक्नोत मनसा ग्रहीतुम सह यत् ह एनम मनसा अग्रहयिष्यत तद ध्यानेन ह एव अन्नम अतृप्स्यतु. लास्ट वन इज सेड तत् शिष्णेन अजिगृक्षत. शिष्णा, द जेनिटल ऑर्गन, तत् न अशक्नोतु शिष्णेन ग्रहीतुम. ही वाज फेल्योर देयर आल्सो. यद् एनत शिष्णेन अग्रहिष्यत. है ना, if that was possible for this कर्मेंद्रिय, then visrujya eva annamatrapsat. Only through the visarjanata, the consumption of food as well as the trupti should have happened. Lekin through the visarjana kriya, what vayu or this jananendriya, hunger and thirst grow only, they don't go away. So if one or two jnanendriya, karmendriya are not said, add all of them. सो 10 ज्ञानेन्द्रिय, 10 कर्मेंद्रिय, 4 अंतःकरण. कोई भी वहां रखा गया जो भोजन है उनको अपने अपने तरीके से कंज्यूम कर नहीं पाए. इट इज ए सेम एग्जाम्पल देखो. देर आर 100 वेराइटीज ऑफ व्हीकल्स. देर इज ए कार. अब किसी भी व्हीकल का टायर उस कार को फिट नहीं होता, उस कार का टायर अलग ही होता है. In the same way, a nut is there. It has to be fixed to some bolt. No, that nut has its own particular size. तो उसके लिए वो नंबर वाला स्पैनर ही चलता है. वहाँ 20 स्पैनर रखे हैं तो मैं कुछ भी लेकर करूँगा तो नहीं होता. अगर वो नट का नंबर है 9 तो 9 नंबर का ही स्पैनर से वो बनता है. यू कैनॉट डू एनीथिंग बिकॉज आई हैव करके. So too in a shoe shop you go, 1,000 varieties or sizes are there. But then if your number of the foot is 6 or 7, that size chappal only, neither jada nor chota. And everywhere. And when you go to a doctor, he won't give anything to you as prescription. So when you go to chemist medical shop, you don't say कुछ भी जो आजकल लेटेस्ट आया सस्ता है वो दवा दे दो. अरे what are you talking? What is your bimari? That medicine alone is given. How many examples we are seeing? In the same way, these all faculties cannot function without the food. But then, food they cannot consume by themselves. Same way, we all have to do Adhyatmic sadhana and reach the Paramatma. But we can't do it by ourselves without being attentive. The vocal guidance by the teacher through teaching and the subtle blessings of Sankalpa by the teacher and God, when we invoke those blessings through our Upasana and Sankalpa. Like yesterday we saw the Vrukasura did the Upasana, but Sankalpa was negative. Our Upasya Devata came. Tentatively, he has fulfilled Sankalpa, but that being negative, he himself got destroyed. तो हमारा उपासना करने का श्रद्धा भक्ति और किस संकल्प से उसको कर रहे हो, इन दोनों के अनुसार सूक्ष्म रूप में देवताओं का भगवान का अनुग्रह, स्थूल रूप में उनका प्रवचन, ये दोनों हमको आध्यात्मिक साधना में आगे ले जाते हैं. बाय द वे, एज एन एग्जांपल वी शेयर्ड इट हियर. Then all the कर्मेंद्रिया ज्ञानेंद्रियास अंतःकरण failed. अब बचा कौन? Vayu alone is there. Okay, that Vayu which has become prana in the heart, and that prana which is into the five. Among that five also, two are important. Among those two, as I told you the example day before yesterday, how much value importance we give to the actors and singers, forgetting that who is the director, who is the producer, who thought of that movie, and who is the one who gave all those dialogues written and training given to how to express the facial expressions, etc. उनको कोई याद भी नहीं करता. इन आवर अर्लियर डेज, पूरे सिनेमा में जो भी योगदान दिए, उनके नाम शुरू में या बीच में या अंत में आता था 10 मिनट के लिए, 5 मिनट के लिए. Everybody, makeup man, stunt man, the editor. Editor is the toughest job because 10 बार shot लिया जाता है. You'll have to look at every one. Then you have to select the best one. Then you'll have to cut and edit and chipkaw. To see to it that the sequence is there and it is perfect. So tough it is, in all movies and songs you see. 2 सेकंड ये पहाड़ के ऊपर है, देखिएगा 2 सेकंड में नदी में है वो, 3 सेकंड में जंगल में है, कई फूलों के गार्डन में है. So in so many places the shooting has been done, and of all that the unwanted thing is cut. Exactly उस गाने का हर एक सॉन्ग को मैच करते हुए you'll have to edit and add that. चिपकाना पड़ता है. You know how tough it is. So to hero doesn't do many things, the stunt masters do. उन सब के नाम आते हैं, आते थे, अब नहीं. बट वी गिव वैल्यू टू द हीरो. आई एम गिविंग दिस एग्जांपल only to say. So to a doctor we just respect, praise him. But how many compounders, nurses working behind? How many of the chemists, druggists working behind? How many chemical medicine producing companies, the R&Ds, all of them are working. But do we remember all? Same way we are happy in the shop to buy our chawal, gehu, thank them. But then which is the farmer where he has worked, plowed and took the help of others and created that crop? So in the same way, out of the 5 pranas, तीनों का तो काम बाद में है. Okay, that is vyana, samana, udana. Other two में we value the prana which is in the forefront. So in this mantra, the two things are told. What is that? The food is consumed by the prana only. But the prana can never consume food without the help of apana. Therefore, deliberately, consciously, Shruti Mata here, even though we appear to have not understood it, but the fact is The Shruti Mata gives the credit to the Apana only. That the Apana has consumed the food. जनरली दी हमको लगता है अपान से सारे चीज बाहर छोड़ते हैं हम, प्राण से खाना अंदर लेते हैं. इट इज 100% ट्रू बट हाफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग. What is the complete understanding? Such a common sense it is. I need not talk at all on that. That if the apana vayu is not working to throw away all the waste material from the system, can the prana vayu take the food and cherish it and enjoy it? For example, 2 दिन constipation हो गए हो, no, whole food is there in front of you, prana shakti is there in front. Do you think you enjoy? But the stomach is absolutely cleaned by the grace of प्राणवायु मानो, सारे अपान वायु. तो 10 जगह शादी में जाकर दबा कर खा सकते हैं. So therefore forefront में what we see consuming food is the prana, but background में कौन काम कर रहा है? अपान. Like the forefront में the student is doing well, but the background में his teachers, the professors, the parents at home, the tuition teacher, brother, sister, इतने पीछे उस बेवकूफ के हैं. That is how he is able to succeed. So to a cricketer, he is doing performance, but पीछे captain है, other players है, the coaches are there, the selection committee is there, entire sports authority of India is there behind. So by telling the upon a name, what we are told here is recognize the one, the real contributor, duly giving importance also to the ones who are in the forefront, like the soldiers on the forefront. Yeah, very much they are doing. We always give laurels to them. Good, वो तो छोड़ना ही नहीं चाहिए. पर उनके पीछे कितने कर्नल्स, ब्रिगेडियर्स, चीफ्स ऑफ आर्मी, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया है. सो टू उनका ड्रेस बनाने वाले, उनके पिस्टल राइफल बनाने वाले, उनके बुलेट्स बनाने वाले, उनके ट्रैक्टर को बनाकर या जीप है चलाने वाले, उनके बंकर्स को बनाने वाले. अरे पीछे बहुत है. एवरी होल इंडिया इज देयर. वी आर पेइंग फूड फॉर देम by paying the taxes. Is it not? From our tax only, all the army, air force, navy, they're all alive. हम ही दे रहे हैं उनको. Every politician is getting that lakhs of rupees, living in Alishan Bangla, having their own personal helicopter, chopper. All of that is the gift or given thing or jabardasti taken from the common ordinary human being who is struggling to buy the salt because it has become 25 rupees kilo from 20 rupees. बैकग्राउंड में कौन है उसको हमको स्वीकार. बिकॉज ओनली व्हेन वी आर एबल टू सी the main cause behind superficial, that we'll be able to see the main thing called Parabrahma behind all the phenomenal expression, which is our purpose. Our ultimate purpose is to see that unseen, and to experience that which is inexplicable. So for that, here the big training is given by using the word or saying that it is the apana which consumed the food. And without the help of the apana, the prana cannot do anything. But in total the thought is what? The total thought is क्या है कि जिंदगी में प्राण अपान का हमेशा ख्याल रखो, क्योंकि उसी के ऊपर consumption of the food, throwing the waste outside will be there, and depending on these two only, all the antakarana, jnanendriya, karmendriya work, then only we will be able to achieve our goals outer and inner by right performance. तो दिस इज हाउ इंटरकनेक्टेड. देखो इस बात को कितना हम नेग्लेक्ट करते हैं. Absolutely, if at all one thing destroyed in our life is the pranamaya kosha. Internal prana is center. वही इस तरफ अन्नमय को भी, इस तरफ मनोविज्ञान आनंदमय को भी वही बैलेंस करता है. But that is the one humiliated, insulted, destroyed by so many means. What are the so many things? The timings of food is not cared. The quantity of the food never minded. The quality of the food is never taken into account. Not even little better than animal. Without any discrimination, we just consume food. Animals are better. They eat grass only. They don't go for making the chutney out of the grass or making other. वो इसलिए वो healthy safe रहते. हम देखो becoming गुलाम to the tongue. Only that 1.5 इंच वाला, ना उसके आगे टेस्ट होता है ना उसके पीछे. Only 1.5 inch. For that, on that food consumption, so much of destructive things we do, because of which whole system is destroyed. That is why योगस्य प्रथम द्वारम नहीं कहते हैं का नहीं आहार शुद्धौ सत्व शुद्धि ही सत्व शुद्धि ओनली तत्व जिज्ञासा है ओनली तत्व प्राप्ति देन ओनली द मोक्ष. Ahara Shuddhi means all of these niyamas, time of the food, quantity of the food, quality of the food, etc. Now the wrong time, wrong food consume करके the body, mana, indriyas, healthy रहना ऐसा कहोगे तो नहीं होता हो. That's why in Gita, the sattvic, rasic, tamasic foods, all of them are mentioned. So ये सृष्टि आदि से चल रहा है. That you being human, for you this quantity, this time of food, this much of food, this type of food consume, you are safe. If that is not done, the prana apana ka imbalance कर दिया हमने, so the total life is destroyed. You know, thank God, that's why the grace of God in today's world, health का conscious होकर बन के thousands and thousands of organizations, by the diet changing, by guidance to the diet for the diet properly, as well as the pranayama yoga, they are prolonging the lifespan also, arresting lot of the disease problems also. We have to really appreciate those thousands of individuals organizations. But one biggest common problem in all of them is what? How much ever by doing yoga, pranayama, change diet, you may protect your body for its health and longevity. Still, you remain as Dehatadhatma Jiva Samsari only. So, to all those efforts of theirs, if they add that the Sharira is saved through all these processes only for knowing the truth, no other purpose. If this much they can add, and there are many Mahatmas or yogis or the dietitians, they tell this. Bhagavan is working through them. If it is told that your Deha is for knowing Paramatma, then that main thing is not missed. He is complete. He is given full marks. नहीं है तो देह को स्ट्रांग बना रहे हो, बट किस लिए? फिर अगेन टू डू द भोगा ओनली and for the sake of the troubling others. Or even if that is not done, attention is only an aham dehosmi. There's a great achievement that I lived 100 years, but only as a body. Attention is only on that. So this is the only complaint for all those health tips giving all doctors, etc. Complaint is spiritually, because whole job is not done. And the complaint for the spiritual masters is what? They're talking about spiritual truth, no doubt. But to reach to the truth at every level of personality, they have to be careful, no? Not even a slightest thing you can miss. But how many things we neglect? बुद्धि का सत्यानाश, मन का सत्यानाश, शरीर का, इंद्रियों का, everything we do absolutely negative, contrary, opposite to spiritual evolution. And we say साधना नहीं हो रहा. अरे कर क्या रहे हो तेरे को होने के लिए? At every level of personality, intellect gathers only the knowledge about the mithya jagat. Mind is lost in projection, imagination, attachment to the world. Sharira is given so much importance for the bhoga and nidra. प्राण शक्ति का पूरा एनर्जी इन्हीं नॉनसेंस में चला गया. नो दिस डेड कैरेकस टाइप ऑफ अन्न प्राण मनोविज्ञानमय वाले व्यक्ति, how can he even come to the class, that too regularly? How can he listen to these sublime truths of Vedanta? How can he think and understand them? How can he make it as a goal? How can he deeply enter into our external and internal sadhanas? ये सब कर कर परमात्मा ना. like post इंडिपेंडेंस फ्रॉम 1947 टू 80-85 तक, है ना? पिछले दुखों को याद करके रोना और एक्सट्रीम टायर्डनेस एंड लेजीनेस विदाउट कुछ करना, एंड एवरीबडी वांट्स टू जॉइन गवर्नमेंट जॉब बिकॉज कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है और पैसा तनख्वाह मिलेगा. दैट वाज द ट्रेंड अप टू 80-85. Therefore, below poverty line was our country. Suddenly, the waking up has happened because of so many masters, spiritual and others, talked about the growth of the country and for that hard work. Of धीरे hard work aspect when got induced. You see today India is competing with the superpowers of the world in all aspects. And the neighbor countries which are got independence along with us, why sade pade? Because they are continuing the trend. We have changed the trend, therefore we are developing and improving. At the national level, as we see it, so individual level, maybe living life, surviving life, continuing the life, maintaining the life healthy at all levels of personality itself is a great achievement. And using all that life for the spirituality is the akme. All that calls for so much of expanded intellect to understand, so much of maturity. जिसका तो हमें प्ले स्कूल तक भी नहीं पहुंचे. That's why when we go on listening to our Shastras, Purana, इतिहास, इनको कितने साल हर दिन 4-4, 6-6 घंटे सुनते सुनते रहने से ही the information, the knowledge, the conviction, the clarity, the practice, the result. So tomorrow we will see that the प्राण के द्वारा, अपान के द्वारा खाना खाना खाया गया. Little more thoughts on that along with Bhashyam we see that. And thereafter comes the actual topic of this Upanishad. अभी इतना हुआ, लेकिन उस शरीर में परमात्मा अभी नहीं पहुंचे जीव के रूप में, मानो, याद रखना उसको, है ना? He will think now कि the whole sanghata is made and everybody is doing their job, but for whose sake? There should be someone for whose sake they have to do the work, and he has to monitor all of that, control all of that. Then who else it can be other than me? Therefore, the Lord Himself, through the head bath of Sahasrara, He enters. That will be taught. After entry, he gets lost. That also will be told. Then, by the grace of Guru and Sadhu, he discovers his own self and then he gets liberated. These are the topics connected, covered in last 2 or 3 mantras of this third khanda. Then in the second chapter, we will see of this individual jiva, there are 3 janmas to him, and then slowly the process of realization is told. In that last thing that is taught is that is prajnanam is Brahma, that prajnanam Brahma is you. This prajnanam Brahma is the fourth Mahavakya. In fact, it is the first Mahavakya. It's called as Lakshana Vakya. Then Tattvamasi Upadesha Vakyam. Then Ayamatma Brahma is Anusandhana Vakyam. Aham Brahmasmi is Anubhava Vakyam. So this Lakshana Vakya is the one which comes in this Aitareya Upanishad toward the end of the third chapter. So before that, we have to do the second chapter. Before that, we have to conclude the third khanda of the first chapter. In that, up to the Apana succeeded in consuming the food, and that consumed food digested with the help of samana, and then vyana vayu spreads it to all cells of the body, indriyas, antakarna ityadi. Then the udana vayu propels all those faculties to use the energy given by the samana for the purpose for which the whole life is expressed. है ना? उदान वायु का काम है सोचने का हमसे करवाना, है ना? You can think about the world and destroy. You can think about Paramatma and get liberated. For all of that, the Udana Shakti is required. That Udana does it to all the faculties. To which these Prana, Apana, Samana, Vyana gave the energy. So all that is happening in us. But how subtlest intellect, internal introverted manabuddhi has to be there for us to be able to visualize and observe all it. All our rishis could see that, therefore, these mantras they could give us. So we should pray on that Vijayadashami day that we get really Vijaya in our Adhyatmika, Avagahana, Sadhana and Anubhava. I can't pray anything lesser than this. And there is nothing greater, more than this, higher than this. So every day should be our efforts for Vijayadashami, our recognizing this self. Om, 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 Om. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु हरनवमी दुर्गाष्टमी महरनवमी विजयदशमी ओके विजयदशमी नाम को फेमस करो दशहरा विजयदशमी जो इंग्लिश में लिखते हैं DUSSHERA अरे बेवकूफ सम इंग्लिश फेलो हैज रिटन इट लाइक दैट व्हाट डू कॉल द दुष्यहारा इट इज दशहरा दश कंठ रावण को भगवान ने हरण किया इस कारण से पूरे दुनिया का दुर्दशा का हरण हो गया सतदशा आया है नेवर छेड़खानी करो विथ आवर फेस्टिवल नेम्स एटसेट्रा विथ ऑल द स्क्रिप्चर्स एंड ऑल द नॉलेज ये महाभाव है as I told you the other day every of these companies encashing the festival by selling their products and getting millions, but they are hesitant of telling the name of the festivals. You understand? See that Amazon and all. The great Indian festival बोल के चिल्ला रहा है अरे यार कौन सा फेस्टिवल है तो दशहरा बोल ना विजयदशमी बोलो नवरात्र बोलो दीपावली बोलो नहीं निकलता उसके मुख से डोंट बाई थिंग्स फ्रॉम देम they don't want to say अरे what nonsense. So Vijayadashami today. Durdashahara Saddasha Prapti Day. Pandavas finished their tapasya. Rama accomplished the service of the world by destroying Rakshasa. So to the Mata Rani Adi Parashakti eliminated the Shumbha Nishubha Adi. All this to be seen subjectively as we are the subjective students of spirituality. The ego of the Ravana. So too the Raga Dveshadi Shumbha Nishubha should be removed by the tapasya of the Adhyatmika sadhana, 12 years in the vicinity of the Guru, 1 year in the Ajnatavas. All alone रहकर internalize करना, all the knowledge gained, sadhanas done. You and I need very much this understanding and sadhana. कि सारे दरवाजे बंद करके पांडवों की तरह अज्ञातवास में रहते हैं अज्ञात में रहकर अज्ञात इज नॉट दैट वी आर नॉट नोन टू द वर्ल्ड अज्ञात इज वी आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ एनीथिंग अदर देन परमात्मा ऑफ द वर्ल्ड into that incognito में ही we can cognize the paramatma. So these festivals, every of Sanatana Dharma festivals are aimed at only tuning to the truth and reality and all sadhanas that are required. And if you see the sadhanas in every festival, it is only hard work, creation, and sharing it with all others joys, happily. है कि नहीं मेहनत करो सारे चीजों का उत्पत्ति करो सबको देना वो so in that the upadhi tadatmya has gone away The ego and selfish is gone away. These impurities, when they go away, one becomes fit for the spiritual experience. You and I, those who attend our classes, every festival, every occasion should be seen from the Tattva Adhyatmika Jnana Sadhana standpoint. Learn this art. There are many other explanations, implementations, stories that will be told. वो सब ठीक है, none of them are wrong, but this is the highest. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Amma.